balance?
It's Graham here at the breakfast reception area, and I'm here with Robert Stevens. How you doing, Robert?
I'm good. I'm on about 5 hours of sleep, but I'm doing pretty good.
I know what it's like. Robert is CTO of Best Buy and the founder of the famous Geek Squad. So you flew in yesterday and had dinner in Boulder?
After 3 attempts at departing the gate, I arrived about 2 hours late. Then I drove all the way to Boulder, had dinner with Matt Galligan, MG.
Former Simple Geo.
Former Geek Squad agent, actually.
Yes.
Too. I've got this whole thing. I'm doing a series called Bleeding Edge. Our CEO of Best Buy, he does a series. He has like John Chambers of Cisco, CEO of Harley Davidson. People come in. We just had Howard Stringer of Sony come into Best Buy. Give a talk and a panel chat. So he calls it the leading edge. So I'm one-upping him. I'll call it the bleeding edge. It's like, forget the CEOs. The people who are making the real change happen are everybody else in the organization. So I had Matt Galligan as the kickoff. So what I'm doing is...
When are you doing that?
I did that about,
you already did it?
A month ago.
Oh, you did?
We're gonna put the video up on the web.
Okay.
And so that got me thinking, how many people in the Valley or in startups used to work at a Best Buy when they were like 18, 19, 20?
There are a lot of people, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm finding these kind of high-tech alumni. So my next one I found, Bob Lee, the CTO of Square, worked at a Best Buy in northern Minnesota when he was a teenager.
No, northern Minnesota?
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh God, that would be so cool.
Already out of the bat, I got Simple Geo, and
Square.
So,
that's two good ones.
Be more out there. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that you worked at a Best Buy.
I didn't. Well, actually, you know that I was the interim director of content for the launch of BestBuy.com. You knew that.
I
didn't you?
Should have, but that's
it's on my LinkedIn page. You got to scroll down a ways.
That's pre-Geek Squad.
Yeah, I was a contractor, for about 4 or 5 months, and we ramped up the team that was building the site from 3 people to 75 people in 3 months. It was a wild time, let me tell you.
Target's doing it now.
Yes, yeah, right. Yeah, our site broke too, but that wasn't our fault. We were the front end guys, not the back end guys. But anyway, hey, tell us what you're going to talk about today. You got a talk prepared?
I don't know, actually. I haven't written my speech yet.
Well, that's cool. You can wing it. We don't care.
I'm going to talk about, this is sort of an interesting audience, right? This is Defrag and Glue are basically DIY audiences. So I'm going to talk about, that they normally pride themselves on not using Geek Squad,
Yeah, right.
So it's kind of a little bit of a hostile audience. So I'm going to try and walk them through how we live symbiotically together.
Yeah.
But the title of my talk is called The Litany of Unfinished Business. I thought instead of talking to them about all the stuff we're doing, I'd rather share with them all the shit we're not doing, all the stuff we know we need to do, and all the trends that are at force, not just for Best Buy, but any retailer, every other business, partially, hopefully, to spur stuff they may be working on that will solve a problem.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried that I'm going to get 1,000 emails at the end of it with a bunch of pitches, but that's the whole point of a conference.
Well, but doesn't your business card say now that if they want to reach you, they got to do it on Twitter?
my business card doesn't say anything anymore.
Oh, it doesn't? It's just...
That's my card.
Oh, you got to love that. There's this business card. It's not focusing real well.
Now, the other thing about it, too, is that for people that don't know what Twitter is, if you type the characters into Google, it'll pop up to my my profile. So.
Cool. Well, hey, the other thing I got to ask you about is Best Buy announced a big acquisition just a few days ago, Mindshift.
Geek Squad announced an acquisition.
Oh, that's right. Geek Squad actually acquired Best Buy. How silly of me! I forgot that.
Most people don't know. Most people don't know. Geek Squad started 8 years before we went to Best Buy. It started in '94.
Yes.
And we dated.
You were in college at the U, right?
I built Geek Squad, for 6 years. Then I called Best Buy in 2000, and we dated for 2 years before we got married in 2002. Next year it'll be a 10-year deal. Now, at the time, the reason I went to Best Buy was to grow my consumer business, which was only 20% of my business. 80% of Geek Squad's revenues and 90% of our profits was all small business support.
Right.
Servers, exchange, all that kind of stuff.
Sure, you were doing stuff for the U of M.
Yeah, we had certified Cisco people. And from anything from Lantastic to POS support. So I was.
So you're not new to business by any stretch.
actually Geek Squad's heritage. Most people don't know that. So a lot of people might be scratching their heads going, why did Geek Squad buy an MSP? Actually, this is a return to Geek Squad's roots. This is part of my original prophecy, which is Geek Squad is going to become the IT department for every company under 100 employees. That's the vision.
Wow.
MSPs are just the beginning. I call it cloudy computing. See, everybody's talking about cloud computing. That assumes you know what the cloud is and that you have a clear idea of what you want to put in there. Cloudy computing is for everybody else. You know, people are a little cloudy about it. We're in a great migration to the cloud. Most small businesses under 100 employees are not even in the cloud.
No.
They need someone to help them get there.
Yeah.
These MSPs, for years, I've been telling Best Buy, we should buy the top MSP in the country and we should work together and link it together. Look, you got Google Apps, Android. The Xbox Connect system is going to emerge as a killer video conferencing system. Every small business should basically have an Xbox in their conference room. Who the hell is perfectly positioned to make all this stuff talk to each other?
Cool. So you were intimately involved in this deal.
Actually, no, I wasn't. I have been harping on it for years at Best Buy.
But there's an M&A department that does the deals.
Well, it's actually the Geek Squad Services leadership team.
I see.
You know, it's on one of our global growth strategies. You know, Best Buy Mobile is the big deal. But services, including the small business space, I've been championing that for years. And the lesson there is that you know, you have to be patient inside a large organization. Sometimes it can take years to make something happen, and that's really tough, especially now when there's so many new shiny services and you know, API architectures out there. But that's really the other part of my talk today, is to talk about what happens if you combine the agility of the new startup technologies with the leverage a giant company has.
With the leverage of what?
A giant company has.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So this is the Mindshift acquisition is really about kind of Geek Squad for business. How does Best Buy for Business fit into the equation then? Is that
Best Buy for Business? They're mainly at this point kind of a commercial wholesale. So if you're a hotel and you want to buy 300 TVs, you want to do a bulk government deal, Best Buy for Business is kind of perfect for that.
It's more about hardware and maybe networking, but not necessarily.
It's really in the service side. If you're a small, medium-sized business under 100 employees, there's two main thrusts that Geek Squad's going to kind of return into business. Small business support, in-home. You know, as we get out of this recession, see a lot more people running their own businesses.
We're
going to be their IT department. They don't need a full-time person doing it. We're going to sell them either Microsoft Cloud or Google Docs, you know, Google Apps. Plus, you merge it with Best Buy Mobile. I mean, the problem is most people would prefer not to go to Staples on a Saturday than run over to you know, Best Buy. What if you could do it all at the Best Buy? Buy your video conferencing through Xbox. Buy your mobile phones for your employees and your tablets. And what if Best Buy became the place where you could just let your employees upgrade on some interval every year, every 6 months, and you don't have to manage all that supply chain? And what if you could just write one bill a month? So you don't actually ever have to buy the equipment. I think we're moving to the age where you'll just, kind of like the subsidy model with the mobile phone. If you agree to a 2-year contract, you get the phone. I can see that happening with all sorts of office equipment and services where you just have a per user fee.
So when can the sun is kind of blowing us out here. So when will we can we expect to see announcements on these services? It'll take a while for the deal to close, right? The Mindshift.
I don't know what the timing is on that. And you know, the other thing too is that you know, Best Buy looks to me to help them out whenever they do like an acquisition. You know, it's really important, like for the Mindshift people, I told them on day one, give those people the Best Buy discount, but don't make them change their email. If anything, I want Mindshift managing Best Buy's email. They're very good at it. They're the best MSP.
I see they even have a Minneapolis office too, huh? Mindshift does?
And so they're not just going to like be rebranded Geek Squad or anything like that. Mindshift customers and Mindshift's business is going to remain very totally independent. This is about, you know, synergies. And, you know, Geek Squad's deal is almost 10 years old, so I and others have experience on how to do this right. So I'm, you know, and it's really different from the Best Buy business, so we're not going to try to mash it up at any time.
That's what I wondered.
No, it's about complementing it. So Best Buy for Business, my prediction will be commercial, wholesale, government contracts.
I see.
Mindshift is going to, remember, like look at Best Buy Mobile. We partnered with Carphone Warehouse, the best #1 mobile phone retailer in Europe. We formed a joint venture to basically, they helped us launch Best Buy Mobile. Mindshift is not going to change who they are. They're going to teach and help Geek Squad expand its offerings. So they're both going to operate in parallel.
Sure. Well, that's awesome. Well, we should probably draw it to a close here. We could talk for an hour.